So, memories from the Tel Aviv beach. So, I grew up here basically, and there were no buildings, no hotels at the time, and I didn't have friends. So, one day, my father he came with me to the beach after a girl from school. I we decided, we made a plan to meet to go to the beach together. I came to her home even. We were supposed to meet on the street, and in between our homes, she actually just didn't even think to show up. So my father took the family dog, Fluffy, and he sat here while I went swimming. And that was probably a moment where I understood that I probably will never have friends in school that I can go with. Then I made friends with a girl that was very overweight and shy, and we became good friends until one day she had children from a sperm bank and decided to blow me off because I said, what about the father? God knows why she kept her distance after I thought we were good friends, but then I realized there's a big difference between what I thought and what the society or what other people thought. And with animals, you don't have that. They are dependable, except one thing, Shiva, La Diva. If I let this dog off the leash, she will just run all over the place. And she has epilepsy, and it's very irresponsible to let a dog with epilepsy off the leash. And also, there's a dog beach, and she doesn't stay at the dog beach. She goes to the religious separate beach. It's now school vacation. There's a lot of children, teenagers, a lot of young people that are running around. It's not a good time to get off the leash. Another memory I have is I have a photo of me and my mother on the beach. That was earlier. I was in a bikini. I think the last time I wore a bikini I was 10 or 11 because I haven't been able to wear a bikini since. Just don't have the figure for that. Or maybe I did, but I didn't try at one point. I don't know. Definitely not now. And just that one photo with my mother. I don't know if I still have the photo. It's black and white. And I think that was the only time I remember being at the beach with my mother. It was so rare. Also with my father, I have to say. I was basically on my own with that, except that one time he felt sorry for me as a teenager and came to the beach with me. My parents were going to the swimming pool, and they didn't take me. I didn't like the swimming pool. It has cold water. There's a swimming pool next to the sea, and they were members. And it's like a social club as well. My aunt was also there. I don't think I wanted to go as well, but they didn't even ask me. They were just taking care of themselves. They were a couple that loved to swim, and I don't remember going to the swimming pool that often, although that was the first time I ever swam was at the swimming pool. I was 2 years old, so the legend goes, and I just jumped in the water and started to swim, and everybody was, wow, that girl is going to be a swimmer one day, but I'm not. I'm not competitive, and that's the bottom line. I'm a very non-competitive person, and sports, you need to be competitive. Yes, dogs are my sport. These are my memories. I remember bringing my children to the beach. Don't think they'll remember that. My son was just learning to walk here. Both my sons, especially my sons, loved the beach. They were fearless at the beach. I was watching them like a hawk, but they were with very, very high waves. They had no fear. They really love water, as they say in German, water rats. So I love the beach. I love the ocean. And I lived in a country that didn't have the sea, the ocean. Although in Swiss German, See is like the ocean. I'm not sure. I get very confused with their terminology. But having said that, a lake is not like the ocean. An ocean is like a human being and has moods. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. At the moment, it's very interesting. Now we have waves here. I'm very happy for the kids that are doing surfing camp. But if you go right or left, you'll have very flat sea with hardly any waves. She likes flat sea. The dog beach is sort of mixed. It's too cold for me to swim, and I have a very bad cold for a while now. And I do not have a swimming suit on me. I have a very bad cold, like a flu more like it. But I'm forced to go out of the house, and it's just too tempting to go to the beach. I just love going to the beach every day. Today I had a coffee here. And that's my life here. I really can't imagine not living next to the sea, and it's not the same if you take a bus or a car. It's not the same. Just walking to the beach and back is already a ceremony, a ritual. I don't really need anybody to be with me on the beach. Actually, it disturbs me because people are different. Remember, I had one friend. I do remember I did have a friend, but she loved watching sunsets. So we used to go every Friday to watch the sunset for a while when we were in high school. It was for about 2 or 3 years, and it was very nice just watching the sunset. And then I would go to my grandparents for Friday night kiddush and meal, and just for that. And then we'd sometimes go on Saturday, and she used to love sunbathing, and I used to stay in the shade. But for a while we went together. We were both nerds, and now I have no connection with her whatsoever. But that's another memory. I did have a friend for a while, and she was a nice friend, quiet girl. Yeah. But I used to go a lot to the religious beach when I was in the army, because I used to be very disturbed by men like looking at me and making comments when I was like 18. So I used to go to the separate beach. Maybe that's why I didn't have a wife. I had a religious one. Used to be religious. That's another story. But I did have a boyfriend once who loved the beach, but he didn't love me. He really loved somebody with a green card, and he's now a professor. That's another matter. But it was nice having someone who liked the beach. But I used to swim on my own. He never went with me into the ocean to stay, and I used to go by myself. I don't know why. It's a very odd relationship. So, yeah. Anyway, I loved swimming at the lake for the reason that there was no salt, but it's not the same as the ocean. And I do miss the swans. Absolutely, and the ducks. Shiva, but we're going to go for a walk because she really wants to go in the water. And I'm not going to let her free because she's epileptic. She's my first dog ever in my entire life who likes to go into the water, I have to say. I never had a dog that liked going in the sea. Never, ever, right? And she's a water rat, this one. I don't know, she's from the south of Israel, from Bedouin village, if you don't know by now, Rahat. But she loves swimming in the sea, like completely. So we'll see. Probably I'll leave her on the leash. I wanted to bring a long leash, but that's complicated sometimes when you have a big dog. It's better for puppies. So I'm going to go with her along the sea in like a tea bag, put her in the water. Yeah. Have a good day, have a good spring. I can't believe it's April already. And I'm in a new phase in my life. Doesn't matter. I left something and now I'm starting something new as usual. But that's part of being a creative person. You recreate yourself. No. Okay, I need my stuff, Shiva. Okay, bye.